I want to talk to you about the 2025 and what the personal branding can do as well towards your freelancing or your business. And the first thing, it's really fascinating to me because when I was starting my Fiverr journey back in 2017, 16, I wasn't really thinking about okay, what is about personal brand, because my goal was to try to grow my career on Fiverr. I was seeing as an opportunity. I've seen some people there who I was looking at and I was like, wow, I want to be like this guy. And a few years later now, 2024, and I don't like to obviously show, but I have to show sometimes, and people say to me that I do show too much time about my earnings and about how this sort of journey has been going for me on Fiverr. But if you're looking for the first time, I just want you to understand that this is definitely possible, and I want to also talk about something extremely important that might happen to you in 2025 and potentially to avoid any mistakes that you can encounter. The first thing, of course, 2024, we finished a year with $377,000 made on Fiverr, which is just incredible. This year in 2025, I honestly don't know what's going to happen, but my plan is to, of course, continue to push my Fiverr journey. And I'm doing it, I don't know if I'm able to maybe reach 60, 70K of my services, because it does involve a lot of operations. But what I learned over those years is that the personal branding is probably one of the most important assets. And this also can be one of the biggest enemies for you. The reason why is that you're watching this video, you're watching my Fiverr journey, and you're like, okay, Vasily, he has done something right, he has done maybe something wrong, but I can see he's doing maybe something good, right? I can see his numbers. And you are automatically structuring the priorities for yourself. You're thinking about, okay, if he can do this, that means other people can do it as well, right? And they can be as successful or maybe even more successful, etc. And this is probably a good thinking, For me, it's the same. If I look at someone and I see that person have done something, I'm thinking the same, like, wow, this person have done something correct, so I can definitely do that myself as well. And that's how we get this sort of motivation, because we look at this example person who has done something great and we want to be like this person or even better. But the biggest problem with all of this is that, first of all, you have to realize that everything that you watch on YouTube, all the fancy stuff, all the nice cars, all the success, all the Stripe screenshots, this can be a fake, right? This can be something that's not very hard to make it up, right? So even if you go to somewhere like Dubai, you can rent a Ferrari, you'll pay, okay, let's say $500, maybe $1,000 per day. You'll just take it for one day, and you try to create content for maybe entire month, right? Or entire even year, I don't know, if you're just showing that. And when people are looking at this, they are automatically like, okay, this person has a Ferrari or Lambo, I want to become as that person. And then you start to follow this person's guidelines. Like maybe they have a course, maybe they have some systems in place, and you're starting to believe in that. And you have to realize that a lot of personal brands, the reason why they're pushing personal brand is because they're trying to sell you something. They're trying to really get you on the coaching, get you on the course, get you on the other things, right? Not many people are going to be actually authentically create this, because even, of course, even I'm spending my time. Why I'm spending my time? Because of course I want to continue. First of all, I definitely learned that documenting the journey is probably the key, because even if something happens to my Fiverr account, you guys can go back to my channel and watch my videos where I was showing my processes, my journey. So it's transparent, I'm out there. First thing is for me, right? I'm just documenting my journey. The second thing is, of course, when you're on YouTube, it creates a lot of opportunities to be seen by other people. Maybe you guys are coming, you never seen my content before, and you suddenly stop this video, and then you're going to be watching other videos. So this creates a lot of traffic, a lot of opportunities, right? And then what happens next is that people are going to be selling you something after. And I believe, of course, there are people who can actually provide incredible value and they can sell you in a course or in other things. But the problem with all of this is that the barrier to entry is really small, and anyone can create a course. Anyone can go just, on anywhere, in a nice resort, maybe they go with their family, maybe they go this. I don't like to say there's been a lot of things coming, like, I started at, like, let's say someone started as like from the bottom, from the poor family. I do believe that everyone has sort of their own life and their own story. Some people grew up in a poor family, some people grew up in a families that their parents were able to, let's say, make a good income, and they're providing their kids education, good opportunities. I think it's all about parenting, right? You have to be able to, as a parent, to raise your kid the way that your kid will be still, of course, hungry to go out there and work and start to make your own money. I mean, the same for me. For me, my journey has been, I wouldn't say I've been like growing up from the poor family. I've been lucky to grow up in a good family where I was able to go to good university, be able to play tennis as well. But then eventually, of course, I always had that drive that I wanted to do something more. Like, I didn't want to ask my parents, like, okay, can I have, I don't know, $500 to go on a trip with my girlfriend or something like that? Because first of all, I grew up with Soviet Union parents, where they grew up in like a really rough condition. So it's a bit different, I would say. And usually when I was like even like playing tennis professionally, my dad will always be like extremely strict with me. I have to do this, I have to win, I have to do better than others. So it created that sort of competitive spirit in myself. And that's why when I went to the US, I was like, okay, I want to actually do something. I want to start earning money. That's why I'm showing you guys journey on Fiverr, because I feel like this is the greatest proof, because everyone knows about Fiverr and everyone's like, oh, okay, this is not maybe as scalable, but this can be scalable if you put in an effort. So going back to the personal brand, I think 2025 is a crucial year, because if you're gonna be relying just on your, let's say, freelancing on your Fiverr and not trying to like document your journey about that, you might be missing on a lot of opportunities. And for me, I always was thinking that, okay, if I'm growing my personal brand, I need to know what kind of niche I'm in. Do I need to talk about Instagram marketing because that's what I provide as a service, or do I need to be talking about maybe freelancing and teaching other freelancers how they can get. So I think most people are also confused because they are not sure where they should go. Should they launch a course? Should they launch membership? Should they launch like a community membership? Or should they launch like a coaching as well? So most people are, for me it's the same. I'm seeing some like success story. I'm like, okay, this is maybe a good idea, let's do a coaching. I'm seeing other person is doing like maybe 6-7 figures with selling courses. I'm like, okay, maybe this can be also an opportunity, right? And then I'm seeing someone else on Fiverr is doing like 6-7 figures. I'm like, okay, maybe we should try to come up with new services. So there's a lot of distraction out there, and this is the biggest problem with today's world, that everyone is trying to do everything or other areas, and they're trying to attract you to follow the same, right? I'm trying to attract you to follow the same doing freelancing. Some other people can be attracting you to do courses or other things. So you have to first understand that you need to pick one direction where you want to grow, because if you're starting from the beginning, it's honestly going to be very hard to do multiple things. You have to find somewhere that you're passionate, that let's say you can wake up early in the morning and you will be obsessed. Like, you cannot wait for the next day to start to do these things. So this is something I want to encourage you. No matter where you go, in which direction, try to just document your journey and just try to be as authentic as possible. Because what I realized, that even when I'm talking about Fiverr, I can still get clients to my agency for my Instagram marketing services, for my content marketing services, because people are looking at me, there maybe resonates my journey, maybe they're building trust, maybe they are feeling I don't know, safe or secure, or maybe I'm becoming trustworthy when I start to speak about the journey. So you should not think about the niche as much. You should just think about like, okay, let me just document my journey and just put out the content and just talk what have worked for me, what have not worked for me, because there are a lot of many people out there who are doing this. The problem is that they, of course, trying to understand where I'm gonna go with this journey. Like, should I sell a course? Should I just focus on the YouTube AdSense, right? I would say YouTube, and for me 2024, that showed me that YouTube is probably the biggest platform is out there, and I'm really thankful for you guys to be able to watch my journey as well, support on the channel. I'm obviously reading all the comments, I'm replying to all the comments as well on YouTube, and I think this platform has so much potential. A lot of creators, a lot of entrepreneurs, let's say digital entrepreneurs, they build a very successful personal brand just from the YouTube channel. So I totally understand that some of you might not be comfortable like speaking, talking as well, and documenting your journey. But even though, eventually you will need to be kind of comfortable. You will need to be, feeling more confident. I think, when you say that, oh, I'm not meant to be a speaker or teaching or talking, I don't think it's the correct way to say, because honestly, I'm a huge introvert, and I know that many of you would say that you're lying, but it's true. I was very, very shy to speak on the camera, and it took me a lot of time to get used to get good understanding, because English is not my first language. So when I speak on camera, I think it makes it a bit even more not stressful, but you feel kind of a little bit lost. But still, right now, obviously, this is much more natural for me. But I think if you do put yourself out there, there is big things can happen. Big things can happen, and especially a lot of Fiverr sellers, like freelancers, they talk about I'm not getting orders. This is not working. I'm not getting traffic. Okay, this was happening to me, and it's also happened to me even now, right? I'm not getting as much traffic as I was getting maybe 7 months ago, 8 months ago. But the point is not about that. The point is that what do you do on that free time? What do you do on that time when you don't have traffic, and now you have time to actually work on your personal brand? So I want you guys to really start this 2025. Just put the personal brand on the highest priority, because if you do put in the time, consistent, and post a video once a week, write a newsletter, or even document your journey. Okay, if you're not confident speaking, maybe you can go on X, which is Twitter, of course, or LinkedIn, and you can start writing about your journey, writing and documenting your journey. Substack, and you guys know that I've been running my newsletter on Substack. I've been talking about Substack for a lot as well, and I think this is a great place maybe to explore yourself there, because they say Substack is becoming a new social media, but at the same time, it's not as toxic as other social media. So, I would just suggest you just pick one platform. Honestly, just pick somewhere that you like the most. If you like to use Instagram, okay, try to pick Instagram. If you like to use YouTube, just pick what you're most passionate about. But I would suggest, even if you think about YouTube, you need to be able to really put yourself out there, and just posting once a week might not be even enough. You need to look at doing community posts. You need to be looking at doing live streams eventually. I want to do my live stream soon, so I hope this will happen soon. But just put yourself out there. Start maybe, because especially with YouTube, I think this is the best platform at the moment, because they are changing the algorithm. So they are prioritizing smaller creators. I'm seeing videos from channels with less than 1,000 subscribers. I'm seeing their videos. They're showing up on my home feed, and that makes it that, and people consuming your platform longer. So they are consuming much longer than on Instagram. So you guys are watching, for on average 3-4 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. And this is a lot, in those 5 minutes, when you listen to someone, you can make really a big impact on that person, right? Just in 5 minutes, you can open up their mind. Of course, it's going to be all about what do you talk in those 5 minutes. If you just talk about maybe something not relevant for them, they're going to go away. But if you somehow make them stay longer, and whoever stays longer than 5 minutes, they're going to be a loyal fan. They're going to be the one who wants to follow your next video, your other video. So guys, I would say Fiverr, for me, I'm still going to be very present there, but I realize that the personal brand is really important, but it's not, the niche should not stop you, because many times, I think this is a common thing. People are thinking why should I talk about, and I did it myself as well. I was thinking that, okay, I can talk about freelancing, but how does that gonna attract clients for my social media? And that's true, you know, like if you're teaching about Fiverr, of course, my potential buyer might not be really interested to hear. But I think when you start to think about that, that's what will just make you stop creating content, and that will overcomplicate things. When you just say, okay, I'm documenting my journey, and I'm just gonna talk about everything that is working for me. This is success, this is failure. I'm just gonna be documenting this on YouTube, let's say. And then eventually those clients could be attracted, you know, you can be attracting those clients that can be coming to you and, you know, working for your agency. I have some clients that, like, by creating the videos like this, they're messaging me on Fiverr. It's like, hey Vasily, I want to, you know, you help me with my Instagram, you know, I want you to do that. The same if you're offering other services like logo design, website design, development, social media marketing. Eventually it's all, they could be your customers. Like, even I have some freelancers, like people who are actually freelancers are using my services. So it's not really about thinking too much about that, you know. And of course, the best thing, you want to attract people, you want to work with people who enjoy your content, who follow your philosophy. You don't want to work with someone who is like trying to say like, no, you're wrong, like this is not how you should do it differently. So guys, I think you know, I know it's a lot of like, you know, talking and etc., but I wanted for you to just understand that, you know, starting small, like even for me, like I'm trying to just become, I'm like, because I know, for example, when I share something on LinkedIn about my Fiverr, maybe I'm not as comfortable, but I realize that doesn't matter. You still have to put yourself out there. You have to talk about something that, you know, resonates with you and something that you feel you can bring the most value. Doesn't matter if this might not be relevant to your LinkedIn audience, because eventually you're gonna find audience who are gonna be thanking you for this kind of content. But if you're trying to create content that you might not be enjoying as much, or you feel like you have to like fake it a little bit to make it, that might not work really well for you. So yeah, I think 2025 is going to be very interesting, because more people are going to be trying to get into this personal brand game. More people are going to be trying to come up with different business ideas or different, you know, courses and things like that. So eventually just do what you feel you would actually enjoy as a consumer. So for example, if you have something really good and you can do this in a course, and you feel like by taking this course people will actually learn that skill, do it. If you feel you want to do something more in like a coaching format, where you will coach someone one-on-one or group coaching weekly, where you have like a weekly calls, do that, right? If you feel you want to provide a service and you just want to be more like behind the scenes and like working on the clients' projects, you can do that as well. You can do this successfully on Fiverr. So eventually you have to pick what you feel you will have an enjoyment, because forcing yourself to do something that where you see how others are doing and doing it successfully, that's not an ideal solution. And especially many people, they don't talk about their actually their failures and what does it go behind the scenes. You know, even for me, like honestly, I think like I was able to build a healthy structure for like my Fiverr business, and that's why I'm still doing it, you know. That's why I'm not like canceling it and just doing like, I don't know, selling courses or other things. Like I'm still actively doing it, and I believe, you know, I'm not happy about my Fiverr videos. I'm not happy about my other things on Fiverr that I want to improve, and I believe there's just so much more potential to improve there, rather than starting something new and then eventually you have to also keep that as, if you start something new, you have to also be passionate and always improve it and always do better. So guys, if you need any help, feel free to write below in the comments. If you want to check out my newsletter, you have the link in the description as well. If you want to document my journey on X or on Instagram, you'll also have the links in the description. Thank you so much, and have a great, productive 2025. And of course, just, you know, stay cold with anything that you see online. Take your time to research, and hope you and I will be, of course, sharing my journey as well here, besides what like Fiverr things, like what other things I'm doing. But still, like this, you know, yeah, just don't go for everything and try, you know, everything, but just give yourself a time to properly work on something, achieve some sort of results, make analysis about it, and then move on to the next thing. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.